Poverty is not a trend. Planned Parenthood is not a trend. What goes on, 308 murders in my city this year is not a trend. Police brutality is not a trend.
So, it's like, you can only really, you'll never really accomplish the things that you can accomplish if you're not a reader. It doesn't work because you don't have the thinking skills to outwit the person you're against. Being in business is kind of like, one-on-one basketball. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to beat the competitor. If the competitor's sharper because they know how to think in a way that you can't think because they read, then they already beat you before you even started. So I feel you by not trying to be like everybody else, but this is something that everybody doesn't do. You know what I'm saying?
Like, I was always into reading. I was always into about reading history. I didn't like anything else about history. I liked a little fiction here and there, but I did not like non-fiction. Like, my thing was I didn't like, I felt like a lot of books are just gossip. You know, if it's not about a historical event or if it's not about something like fantasy that's made up, it's just about somebody's opinion. A lot of people interpret them opinions through facts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but also it's like you kind of don't really know what they're about. We just assume it.
Yeah.
So it's like the key is like I can see you're a very smart person, but the key is how do you take the natural skills that you have and blow it up to the next level? Because it's a different level. If everything right now is great, if you walking around and you stacking up $10,000 and you got your car, you got your place, and all of these things are going well for you. You're in college. There's another level. Graduate college and you start a company or you get a career and you're making money and you're helping people out and you're doing good things. There's still another level. Like there's always the levels. There's the level that you see, and then there's the level of the people at that party you was talking about, and then there's even a higher level than them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the only way to really hit them levels is to be able to you got to be able to outthink people, and the only way to be able to think is to develop those critical thinking skills, which come from reading and then having conversations about what you read. So it's like, and it's very difficult because it's not the funnest, like we all know it's not the funnest thing in the world to do, right? But it becomes a sport. So for me, it started out as like, first I was like, I didn't like books. I didn't really care too much for books. Black, East Baltimore, giving books about nothing but white people, white experiences. So if I'm reading these books, and when something is in print, it kind of becomes like the definitive universal rule. Everyone accepts it instantly, right? So if I pick up this book with these white people, they identify culture, they identify art, they identify beauty, and they're basically telling me that I don't really have a part in the world that's being given to me. So this is why like a lot of young people like us, why we reject books. And then when I came across this one book, Sister Soldier, the coldest one ever, and it changed everything for me because it was a story that was kind of relative to my own story, and I didn't know you could write a book like that. So from there I started reading other books like that, and then I started reading books about different realities, and then it opened my mind up to all of these other different places, and from there it was a wrap. And then I started understanding like why reading is so important. Like why was it illegal for slaves to read? Why was it so how come if you're a slave master and you caught your slave reading, on some plantations the consequence was death? Why? Why is that?
Because they didn't want you to know what you could do and what we were capable of.
Even simpler.
Like I guess it's just the whole point of like ignorance. Ignorance is the main thing that keeps people down.
Because if you don't think for yourself, I can give you your ideas. I can give them to you. You know how easy it is to control a whole world? If you could just give them their ideas. These are your heroes. This is what you like to do for fun. This is where you're going to live at. This is what you think is successful. This is what you think is bad. This is your God. I'm giving it to you. If I can give you your ideas, I can control you. But if you have your own ideas, then you can challenge and push back and meet these things with resistance and be free. So it's it's a whole different level.
You only preach when it's in, you only speak when it's popular. When the camera's not watching you, tell me really what's stopping you. Ain't seen none of them idols. Maybe I need binoculars and your wallet is our money. but you can't give out a slug.